guys, welcome back. It's been a little over a month since we last talked to you, and we did our 3-day fast and kind of gave you a little brief introduction of what we're going into. Me personally, I was going to do Paleo Autoimmune, which is going to be a really restrictive paleo diet, which basically you cut out, me personally, I cut out most fruits, and then the big things that were the autoimmune problems were most of the nightshades, any type of peppers, anything like that. So mostly I lived off of sweet potatoes, a little bit of raspberries, and greens and so forth. It's very restrictive with no eggplant, and there's a huge list, and I'll pop it up on the screen now. And Robin did?
I did the Neurotyping Diet based on Christian Thibodeau's Neurotyping protocol, which Justin will link also down below or somewhere on the screen. And it really involved kind of a rotating diet based on training. So there were high carb days, low carb days, and really just a highly varied diet that dialed really tightly into the macros and timing and when to eat what. And it was a little bit challenging.
Yeah, so mine was challenging as for the aspect of me taking foods out. Robin, I think, if I'm understanding from her, I live with her, so I got to hear a little bit. Her problem was mostly around always having to have meals prepared for her schedule. And what did that look like? So
it really looked like getting all of the workouts ahead of time. So a week ahead of time, I would get all the workouts and block out which days were aerobic or glycolytic, and then schedule out every single meal for the week. And then on Sunday, I would cook every single meal for the week, including post-workout, pre-workout snacks, and have them stacked up day by day. So on days when we might have a social thing come up, that's where it really fell apart for me, because I would just throw it all out the window the entire day. So if I didn't have everything really squared away and planned and with me wherever I was going, it just kind of fell apart because the macros just weren't there.
Yeah. That Robin's really busy. She has a full-time job plus property managing plus getting real estate. She's doing a lot, plus making chocolate and then taking care of the baby that she lives with, me and Odin. And so she's really busy. So I kind of had a similar experience as her with not this diet, but back in the past where I've done zone, where I weighed out everything. I would be wonderful until I missed one meal, and then it would just be a domino that created a chain reaction where I would go buy 30 sugar cookies and eat them all at once. So that's not really sustainable for me, and we'll talk about Robin in a second, but mine was a little bit more flexible. So I would wake up, normal day, I would have some tea. So basically I took out coffee, that's one of the things. So I'd have some oolong tea, because you can get an autoimmune response from excessive caffeine. Your body senses it and it sends out autoimmune response like, hey, what is this? So I've had no coffee right now for 6-7 weeks, something like that. So none whatsoever, but I have lived off a little bit of tea. Just one in the morning, I think it's like 28 milligrams per tea bag that you get. So it's like a third or a fourth a cup of coffee. So that's the only thing I'm really having. Sticking with water as always, and then just eating healthy. Robin's been sweet enough when she makes all this food for herself. She makes a lot and doesn't season it how she likes it, and I have very plain taste, but it is what it is. I'd rather delay a little bit of instant gratification for the long-term goal. A couple things I think have helped me. One, I lost about 7 pounds on the fast, and probably about 3-ish right after that. So sticking with this diet has kind of helped me lean out a little bit more. I feel better, I sleep better. One thing that's helped me, I think, is taking out fruit, as much fruit, keeping that liver glycogen down just a little bit, and then also adding in everyone's favorite livers, bone broth, stuff like that. Robin hates it, but like I said, if I can eat it and I'll feel better, perform better, I'll deal with it. She has made some really good recipes that she stole from Nando's while we were in Chicago, and
Autoimmune version.
Yeah, the autoimmune version, yeah. A peri version. So it's really good. That's basically my diet. Sweet potatoes, meats, livers, bone broth, tea, raspberries. And I think during the whole month we were doing this, we cheated 2 times. Once we were in Chicago, and once we had a long-standing member who's moving away. So we had a dinner with him and partaked in a few spirits. So that was my only 2 cheats over it, and I feel good, and I'll probably stick with it somewhat and kind of go from there. Unless y'all have any recommendations, then you can comment below. That's about it. Rob, how do you think you're gonna do?
Well, just to recap kind of how it went. The first week we actually had a strength training cycle. So where the diet really plays into the training, that really kind of affected the success level that I was getting out of it. So in that first week, it was kind of keto based almost.
Yeah.
And I was just dropping weight. I mean, I think I lost also about 7 pounds on the fast, and then another 3 or 5 pounds in the next week and a half.
Yeah.
Doing kind of keto. But then we got into more of an aerobic cycle, and my carb intake went way up. And when my carb intake goes way up, just for me personally, I kind of bloat.
Yeah.
So I got 2 weeks in, and that success kind of started to dwindle. I was even putting on a little weight and kind of looking at the numbers and where I could change them up. And so I think there was a little bit of just mental kind of obstacle and turmoil over this isn't working and that kind of a thing. But I did like the variability, that it's not always the same thing, that some days I'm going to have higher carbs because I really kind of fall apart if I don't have some days that I'm getting a little bit more carb intake. But as we said, the biggest kicker was just that it had to be all prepared ahead of time. I had to have everything very highly organized. So going forward, I think taking that to heart and really keeping in mind where I fell apart and where I found success, I'm going to try to do a Whole30 kind of protocol. So focus less on the number counting and the nitty-gritties of planning, and keeping it more just the day-to-day quality, and making sure that I'm intaking the foods that my body needs just based on workouts and how I feel.
Yeah, and if you were in our 10X nutrition, we kind of laid it out to where you had a high carb day or a high fat day or a maintenance day, which we called a high calorie day. So that was kind of what Robin was doing as well. And if some of y'all struggled with that as well, Robin did as well. So that's one of those things, if you're good with having numbers and you can always meet that, or let's say if you're good at having numbers and you're going to miss one meal and you can get right back on, that might be something you absolutely need to do. Me, I'm not that type of person. Organizational skills are 1, lacking, but 2, when it comes to the diet, I would rather just eat whole foods and just kind of eyeball it. I have no clue how many calories I have per day. Not an inkling. I'm guessing anywhere from 2,000 to 3,500. So that's a big difference. Just kind of depends if I felt like I was hungry, or we did a workout that was extremely, extremely hard. Like last week we did 8 400-meter repeats. I had a lot more carbs that day because it was very, very challenging on me, and I'm not the best runner in the world, so it went from aerobic to glycolytic very fast. So we want to encourage you all to eat something that's sustainable to you, and also to change it up. I'm not going to do this forever. You got to be constantly changing. If you're not constantly changing, you're never going to be better. Okay, if you think you've arrived at your pinnacle, you're wrong. I was listening to a podcast that had a guy that I probably say his name way too much. I'm not even going to say his name, but he said that do not be okay with who you are. Do not be okay with who you are, because you can always get better. If you're okay with who you are, you're not pushing yourself. It's very similar to what we do in CrossFit. Him and CrossFit CEO kind of have a similar path line that basically you get out what you put in. So life's hard on everyone. Doesn't mean that you can't change and be better. Get used to that over-stressing and getting that stimulus, and then it makes it easier. Then you can stress a little more, makes it easier, and you eventually become better. So challenge yourself. If you want to try something, try something. Talking to JoJo, he said that he did a 72-hour fast, and he's finished up today, and he did great. So I'm glad that someone took it and ran with it. So anything else you want to add, Ron?
I think that's about it. Yeah, just keep on trying new things and getting better, and even when you reach that thing that really works for you, keep seeing how you can improve it.
absolutely. Mark Sisson and Galen's written an article. We have a lot talking about metabolic flexibility. Switch it up. Absolutely switch it up. Your body is very resilient at adapting to one thing and kind of plateauing there. Keep moving, guys. Keep moving. And that's about it. If you want me to do a specific diet, comment below, and we'll kind of go from there, and I'll see if I can pull it off, or something in lifestyle or working out wise that you want me to try. Comment below. I'll be your guinea pig. Robin is going to do 30 days of Whole30 starting on, today's the 10th.
Sure. I'm fasting right now. I'll probably fast for a few days, so right after that, I guess.
Yeah, and continue the fast. Yeah, continue the fast, and we'll check in with Robin, and I'll kind of let you know on the next video what I'm doing.
And absolutely, lifestyle things, I'll take that on as well.
Yeah.
Comment below.
All right, guys, have a good night.